Hello, I'm Patty Ford and I'm here at 400 Beacon Street to give you a glimpse into how we are recreating wallpapers for the house restoration. As you look around, you can see that the walls here in the parlor and out in the front hall, as well as all of the rooms in the house, were wallpapered. The house was renovated for Mrs. Eddy in 1908, and at that time, wallpaper was very popular. It was usually American-made, readily available, and very reasonably priced. It was so popular that manufacturers offered new patterns and colors every season. There were literally thousands of papers to choose from in 1908. So where do we begin? How do we find out what the original wallpaper looked like? So we started first by looking in the archives. And here we found original 1908 photographs, black and white, of all of the rooms in the house, and they clearly showed us what the pattern of the wallpaper was. We turned again to the archives to see if we could find any original fragments of the wallpaper so that we could judge scale and color. And here we were lucky enough to find a few, mostly for the main rooms of the house. We removed mantels, millwork, door casings, light fixtures, anything that was attached to the wall, where we thought that wallpaper might still be hidden underneath these elements. And in many rooms, we actually found fragments of the original wallpaper in fairly good condition, good colors, and enough to give us an indication of the detail of the pattern. So we're working with a custom print house, Waterhouse Wall Coverings in New York, and their team of designers to recreate these patterns. We provide them with the historical research that we've done, color suggestions, and the photographs to work from. And they create digital artwork, which goes back and forth, and after many reviews and samples, will eventually become the printed pattern. There are a few rooms, such as the dining room and the library, where we need a special type of paper to print on, or we're using metallic inks. So these will be silkscreen, just like wallpaper has been for hundreds of years. I'd like to show you two examples of what we're currently working on. The first is the wallpaper for Calvin Fry's office. As you can see, it's a very large floral pattern with very saturated colors. And we found a few fragments of this wallpaper in the archives, and we also found strips of it hidden behind millwork in the house itself. So it was quite easy to piece together the full pattern and the general color sense. Waterhouse created the artwork, and on screen it looked perfect, so we asked for a printed sample. And when it came in, we were actually quite disappointed because the colors appeared very faded, not like the original at all. What we had used was a traditional paper that most wall coverings are printed on, but we learned that it is quite porous, and when you're working with colors of this intensity, it will absorb a great amount of the ink that's placed on top of it. So we solved the problem by changing the paper to a coated paper in which the ink just sits on top of the paper so we can achieve the deep hues that we're looking for. We're now on the third floor in Nellie Eveleth's sewing room. And as you can see, there's currently wallpaper on the walls. But if we compare it to the photographs, we can see that it's not original. We know that the contractor in 1908 had a very tight schedule to complete the project, and sometimes they did things out of the normal order. So it was an assumption that proved correct, that the millwork had been installed after the wallpaper was hung. So by removing casings and the mantle that you see in this photograph, we discovered a very large piece of the original paper in extremely good condition. But our research has also taught us that wallpaper colors shift over time, even when they haven't been exposed to light or air. For our reproduction paper, we matched the general hue of the colors, but we did intensify them so that they would look more like they did when they were originally put up in 1908. And after doing many samples, we all agreed that this sample captures the spirit of the original paper quite well. So this will be what we're going to print and hang on the walls. We're reproducing 19 wallpapers, and at this time they're in various stages of completion. So to that end, I'd like to leave you with images of the rich variety of papers and patterns and colors that make this home truly special. Thank you.